swing of the right leg, and we're underway.
Here we go.
You know what time the game starts? All right, here we go, fellas. Let's have a little fun today. Is anybody else tired, or is it just me? I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.
From the goal line to the 5 to the 10 to the 15. Through a hole to the 20, to the 30, outside to the 40. He may be gone. Midfield to the 40, the 30, the 25, 20, the 10, 5. Touchdown for Desmond Howard.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of PWW Halftime Hits. This is the NFC Championship version of the Halftime Hits. Trying to come with a lot of energy right now, but a little bit was sucked out of my sails with 8 seconds left there. But I am joined with the OG group, Ryan Bowman to the side of me, below me, Ryan Schoberg. We're going to start with Bowman first. Bowman, your thoughts before there was 8 seconds left in the end of the first half. How did you feel before then?
You know, halftime show to say, hey, we're down 14-10, and Packers get the ball to start the second half, so they could easily be up by 3 by the time the Bucs get the ball back. So that didn't happen. A classic kind of Packers meltdown on the defensive side of the ball. Kevin King, that's 2 touchdowns today that he's crazily misjudged the ball or the receiver's point in the air. It's just he thinks he's $100 million cornerback. Those kind of plays on the biggest stage aren't going to get you a contract like that. So, needless to say, I think we're all feeling a little negative come in. I'm going to try and rein it in and say, hey, the Packers can score a touchdown on this drive, and it's 21-17, and it's a ball game. There is a ton of time left for Aaron Rodgers to get this team back in the game, but they're going to have to come with their best second half of the year to even make it a chance.
Third downs.
Go ahead.
Third downs. Kevin King and Shannon Sullivan are obviously being targeted. The one time they went at Jair, made a good play on the ball against Chris Godwin, and that was really the end of that. Don't see Jair miss a lot of tackles. That happened in the first half. Defense got burned quite a bit. Otherwise, outside of that one play at the end, you can't ask for a lot more out of this defense. That last play at the end really overshadows a lot of the good things that were done in the first half. Kenny Clark had his best half of the year. Other than that, though, not really getting a whole lot of pressure on Tom Brady. That needs to switch in the second half. But what do you do now with Jair? Do you shadow someone? Do you shadow Mike Evans? Do you shadow Chris Godwin? Do you let him keep playing the right corner or the left cornerback position? I don't know at this point.
I don't know either. And it's like, it was a great first half, honestly. Like, just the chess mess, the back and forth. The Packers it seemed like they'd figured a little bit out as far as their pass protection went in that last drive, and just to stall inside the red zone a little bit. That touchdown sucked, but as far as defensively, like I felt confident in Kevin King going in. That he misjudged that jump on the touchdown throw to Evans, which kind of sucked. But like they talked about it right after the first drive. They're like, is Jair going to switch from the left cornerback position to just be roaming and covering Evans? And at this point, outside of a few plays, Evans really hasn't done much, and they've been able to, besides a few miscues on offense for the Bucs, they've really been able to kind of control the ball offensively. Bowman, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought, again, the game script was going, kind of what you would hope. Maybe you'd want to be on the other side of 14-10, but again, getting the ball in the second half, you got to think, hey, the Packers got the ball back with 2 minutes to go. They're moving the ball. They're going to get a field goal out of this, hopefully, and it's a totally different game. So it's that game management, it's that in the moment thing that's really coming back to hurt the Packers. But I think it's not so far gone that you get away from running the football, right? When you're coming in the second half, like Aaron Jones needs to get the ball. I don't know where A.J. Dillon's been at, but he's been very quiet. Jamal Williams making a couple of plays. I think there's an opportunity for the Packers to still go out and win this game, but they have to be true to what got them here. If it's Aaron Rodgers going 4 wide, 5 wide, and trying to open it up against this Tampa Bay defense, it's going to be a long second half.
I agree. Got to stick with the run. On the offensive side of the ball, Green Bay's been attacking the sidelines really well against this defense that flows side to side very well generally, and it's tough to beat them on the outsides. They've been doing that. As far as the offensive side of the ball, I don't like getting run or getting away from the run so early. Kind of what you guys were saying there. Man, that last play overshadows so much that was done in the first half in the Packers' favor. Going into halftime, 1-possession game, getting the ball back. I like that a lot more, but you don't see drops from Devontae in the end zone, then kind of losing his place in the end zone on the same possession. And that was my biggest gripe of the first half. So they run the ball to get down the field that drive, if you remember right. To get the first down, to make it 1st and goal on the 5-yard line, they went with 3 straight runs. And then they got 1st and goal at the 5-yard line and went with 3 straight passes. Second down play, I don't know what was up with that. Even if Devontae Adams got that on that rollout, he wasn't going to score. A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, pick your poison and go at it inside the 5 there.
Absolutely. So I have 2 things I want to talk about. One, I'm just going to frame it with saying this energy coming into this halftime hits is completely different than I thought it was going to be with, 32 seconds left or whatever it was. So that sucks. That's just the reality, right? We're down 2 scores. Thankfully, we get the ball because the Packers kick. Now, I'll ask a quick question, Schoberg, since you mentioned it. It looked like on that play that you talked about, second down play inside the 5, it looked like Adams in real time was pretty pissed off. And I was like, oh, he must have got held when he did his little out route. Well, when they showed it, he wasn't really touched at all. Do you think he was mad with Tanyan, or did either of you see anything as far as that play went?
I think he was mad with Lazard. Lazard totally whiffed on – it was a pick play, and Lazard totally whiffed on Devontae's guy. Devontae looked straight back at him, started yelling. But, yeah, you don't see Devontae let his emotions get the best of him quite a bit. And he was hot after that possession. That little sequence of events there, drop in the end zone. Could have been a better pass, but back shoulder, him and Rodgers are 98% on that. And then he kind of loses himself in the back end of the end zone, kind of like what I was saying. And to be held to 3 points there was huge. You're running it down their throat the whole way down the field, and then you really wuss up inside the 5 and can't give it to either one of your backs. I don't understand that one.
For sure. And you mentioned thank you for correcting me, it was Lazard, right? And it looked like, yes, he missed the chip, but then the 2 miscues between 12 and 17. I mean, that they talked about that 99 out of 100 times. Say what you want about Troy Aikman, but that's exactly correct. That is 100% a touchdown every day of the week, especially when Carlton Davis gives him that basically no bump, gives him that fade route. He gave him the entire fade route. He's like, I'm going to take the slant away, but Adams had every opportunity to make that catch. And then the other one, the back of the end zone, didn't really he just lost where he was. I think it maybe came out of Rodgers' hands a little late because when he made that move upfield on the fake slant, it seemed like it should have came out sooner. But you talk about kind of wussing up in the red zone. They've highlighted this a few times this week. Bruce Arians has talked about how Tom Brady's able to kind of coach and do his thing and whatever. Where do you think the dialogue came there to go for that play and not punt? I'm curious, Bowman, what are your thoughts there? Do you think that was a Bruce Arians call or is it a Tom Brady? I want to say it was Arians just because the way it didn't look like they were showing Brady, he was on the sideline, right? And it didn't look like he was really clamoring for it, getting in Bruce's ear, or Byron Leftwich's ear for that matter, the OC. Do we think that was a Bruce Arians call, or was that kind of just the cohesiveness of Tom Brady's competitiveness with Arians? What are your thoughts, Bowman?
I think it's probably a little bit of both, but I think it's also recognition on their part that there's something there in terms of how the Packers defense plays in those situations. The off coverage, the lack of aggression, the coverage breaking down and big plays. They've seen it a few times in this game where they've capitalized on third downs and big plays. And Kevin King in particular in this game has not been solid down the field. He's made a couple of nice plays up near the line of scrimmage, but I think they see something there, and you really need to give him some safety help, whoever he's on. It doesn't matter if it's Godwin or if it's Evans. You need to roll coverage that way and let Jair do his thing.
So say what you want about the reffing. I'm not here to dog refs as far as the missed holding call and the interception, but this really comes down to making plays on the defensive side of the ball. He may have gotten away with a hold, but he made a hell of a catch to intercept Rodgers to put Tampa Bay in that position. You go to the other side of the ball, 3 plays later, it's 3rd and 3. Tom Brady chucks it up to no one, and Will Redmond completely whiffs on an interception attempt. You can't have that in the NFC Championship. It's giving me shades of Ha-Ha Clinton Dix in the 2014 NFC Championship game where Russell Wilson just tosses it up and they get a 2-point conversion to really spark a comeback. Now it's Green Bay's turn to come back, settle down, punch the Bucs in the mouth. third quarter hasn't been the strong suit for this team, and they're really going to have to reverse the roles here.
Third quarter has been a rough go for the Packers thus far, and that's been historic throughout this season. Second quarter, obviously, they showed the stat line of most points ever in a quarter for any NFL team. So we need to definitely turn the tide on the third quarter situation. My first or second half adjustments, I'll get to them quick. We can throw it to you guys. I think it's getting better on third down on defense. Obviously, they've shored up the offensive protection slightly. There was a really good play on that Lazard throw. They ran that stunt, the notable Todd Bowles stunt, and they were able to stop it with 5 linemen because they sent out the running back in out of pass protection. So I think if they can get Rodgers some more time in the pocket, that'll help a lot. Stick with the run play, just like Bowman said, just like Schobert agreed. Like you gotta continue to run the ball. A.J. Dillon hasn't been on the field, obviously not a focal point of this game. Going forward, down 2 scores, 11 points. I don't see how that could happen unless it's an inside the 5 situation. But like I said, I guess get after Brady a little bit, get better on third down. If we can make a play in the secondary, great, but offensively kind of stick to what we're doing, and hopefully we can get rolling a little bit. Bowman, your second half adjustments, and what do we need to do to get to the Super Bowl?
I mean, you got to pull out all the stops now, right? You're down 2 scores. You don't have time to kind of play the slow game as the Packers like to do in the second half sometimes. You've really got to go out and score a touchdown on this drive and then follow that up with an aggressive series on defense. I think you got to blitz Tom Brady. He is killing them on the passive 3 and 4 man rushes. You got to get some pressure up there. And, they did get the 1 sack there, I think. But outside of that, it's been pretty easy for Tom Brady to kind of move around and pick things apart. So defensively, more aggression. Offensively, I do like their game plan. I think they just broke down in the red zone there. And then, the interception by Aaron Rodgers kind of halted any progress towards either a field goal or limiting the Bucs' ability to get a field goal or a touchdown in the last minute there. So, the game plan offensively, I think they can still stick to it. Defensively, they really need to bring the heat to Tom Brady.
Make plays on defense, rush the passer. On offense, commit to the run a little bit more. You're going to get down on the time a little bit more, but we haven't seen any play action so far this game, so you got to commit so they can at least acknowledge the running game for Green Bay.
Schoberg, as always, keeping us up to date when the second half starting. It's starting soon. One thing to point out, I did hear Kenny Clark had went into the medical tent before the end of the first half. We'll see what's happening with him. Overall, both teams have stayed pretty clean. Chris Barnes, not sure what's up with him. Looked like he tweaked his thumb on that play towards the end of the first half. But overall, boys, Packers set themselves up. We thought it was going to be set up pretty nice getting the ball here at second half, but that's not the case. We're down 3 scores. Praying and hoping that the defense can make some plays, throw Tom off his game, and that offense needs to get back clicking. Looked like they're getting to some momentum there. Stalled with that inside the 5 and that pick, but we'll see what happens. I heard a whistle, so that means the game is definitely on. But for Ryan Bowman, Ryan Schoberg, I'm Matt Freilich. You guys enjoy the rest of the game. Go Pack, go, and let's hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks. Take care.
Now here's the run up, swing of the right leg, and we're underway.
Here we go.
You know what time the game starts? All right, here we go, fellas. Let's have a little fun today. Is anybody else tired, or is it just me? I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.
From the goal line to 5 to 10 to 15. Through a hole to the 20, to the 30, outside to the 40. He may be gone. Midfield to the 40, the 30, the 25, 20, the 10, 5. Touchdown for Desmond Howard.